Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Low Carb Wishes, Keto Dreams. I am checking in from the floor today. I have got the babby with me, and we are watching Sesame Street, the El Motivation playlist on YouTube. Say hi. Now she's going to try and get the camera now that she's noticed that it's on. So I'm just checking in today. I have got a Q&A list that I want to do. I'm hoping she doesn't knock everything off the off the table trying to get to the thing. My breakfast today I have sitting here. It is 2 eggs cooked up like little omelets. I got some smoked breakfast sausage, a slice of cheese, and a couple cherry tomatoes. Ta-da! Oh, my tomatoes are escaping. Ta-da! I like the omelets done really sort of gently, so I do 2 little ones because they're easier to cook that way. Oh wait, anyway. I have got a Halloween question list. I got it from, her name is Jessica over at my Keto Life. That is not for you. What? What are you doing? It's mine. No. Nope. She did the list of questions. I think she got it from, she linked the channels on her channel. She linked the other channels. I think one is It's Always Summer, and then the other one is Amy Lynn, I think maybe it was Jamie Lynn. I don't remember. I will link to hers, and if I can, theirs. But it says, first question is Halloween celebrated in your country? If yes, how? Yes it is. America, we do trick-or-treating. It's a very common, get a toy. That'll do. Trick-or-treating is very common, although trunk or treat has become very popular. A lot of churches and schools or community centers will do a trunk or treat. What that is, if you don't have that, is people get their cars and their trucks and things, and they pull it into like the church or the community parking lot, and when it's done right, people will like go all out and decorate their trunks so that when they open them up and they sit back behind their car and kids walk around the parking lot getting candy at each trunk. But people will go all out and they will decorate their trunks, and it will look so cool. Like, and they'll do like themes like Frankenstein, and it'll have, you know, like a sciencey bubbly stuff and electricity going in it. You might have something with witches or something like that, and you'll have a bubbling cauldron with some dry ice in it pouring out all over your trunk. So yeah, I mean, that seems to be a dynamic that's very popular now as well. You know, people aren't exactly comfortable letting their kids wander around neighborhoods anymore, so that is something that's becoming very popular. Next question is, what is your favorite thing about Halloween? When I was a kid, obviously it was the candy. Now, though, I love the decorations and just the season. You know, decorating, the costumes. We go to a neighborhood by my folks' place. They live in a 55 and up trailer community. Not trailers, I'm sorry, not trailers. It's a coach community, but it's 55 and up, and the neighborhood that's just outside of theirs is this real small, sort of P-shaped road. So it, you know, comes down and then there's a loop kind of at the top, and it's just the perfect size to do trick-or-treating. So we usually go there. We might go with my friend this year, I'm not sure, but the kids have a great time. I think we're gonna do Miss Thing. like Boo this year. I want to get my husband like a shirt that's, you know, like Sully from Monsters Inc. and get myself like a Mike Wazowski shirt. So we'll see what we get done. My daughter wants to do something else, so my eldest daughter wants to do something else. But she loves the idea of the family costume, so she's torn. She's like, but I want to do this other thing. What is your favorite scary movie? I don't normally do scary movies per se. I tend to have weird dreams, like zombie movies in particular. I tend to have like really weird dreams after I watch them. The one thing I do love, besides this baby, the one thing I do love is silent films. Kind of a weird thing that I just adore, silent films. Anytime I see one on like Turner Classic Movies, I gotta watch it, even if it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Last year I saw The Cabinet, no, it wasn't last year, it was like the year before. I saw The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. That was an interesting movie. Kind of the first of its kind, really, considering it was a silent film. The backdrops of that were very, you could say, Burton-esque, although it was before Burton. Because it's supposed to be, it's this doctor who has a somnambulous, a dude that sleepwalks, in a, like a box. He keeps this guy in. So the backdrops and everything, there's weird angles to all of the buildings. And, it's supposed to feel like a dreamscape, basically, and I think they did an amazing job. Let's see, what's another one? Nosferatu was another good one. That was, again, done like the late teens or 20s of the 20th century. That one, actually, the creator got sued by the family of Bram Stoker, because they basically stole the storyline of Bram Stoker's Dracula. And I mean, it's like they didn't even really try to change anything. Like, even the names were ridiculously close. But it's a good movie. I'd say just about anything with Lon Chaney in it is awesome. He was just an amazing actor. He had a makeup case that he carried around with him. So like that scene where he's playing in Phantom of the Opera and he pulls off the mask and it's that, you know, funny turned up nose thing and his face is all disfigured. He did the makeup. He did all of his own makeup. Women passed out in movie theaters. Actually, I think a few men did too. But when it first showed in theaters, his work was just amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's so many silent ones that I just love. But anyway, that's a few. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I think that had John Barrymore in it. Drew Barrymore's, is it her grandfather or great-grandfather? I think it was her grandfather. Haunted houses. Yes or no? No. When I was a teenager, my folks took me to Halloween Horror Nights. I begged them to take me to Halloween Horror Nights. And I went through a couple of their haunted houses, and I almost ran over the people in front of me getting out of the haunted house. I can't do, no, I just can't. What is the first costume you remember choosing for yourself and wearing? I had two. I had one that was it was like a pumpkin poncho one year, and it had like a little hat with a rubber band type thing that went around your neck to keep like a pumpkin stem on it. And you just wore like green leggings with it or something. The one that I really remember kind of being one that I really liked was, it was a costume I had that I was a kid, I wore year round, but it was was either a fairy or a butterfly. It was like these pastel pink and blue and green wings. That was a cape you tied around your neck, and you take it in, and they look like wings when you put your arms out. That one, and it also had like wasn't a headband, but it was like a thing you velcroed on your head that was like, looked like a crown. My mom did my makeup, so she did like this sparkly eyeshadow and all this stuff and blush, and I thought I looked awesome. Looking back on pictures of it, you know, it's very gaudy, the makeup in particular, but our church at the time did something like the trunk or treats, but it was like a Halloween festival. Basically a safe place where parents could take their kids to do trick-or-treating like stuff. And so they had like fall games and things like that. And I remember it so vividly because their playground used to be on the roof of the building, all enclosed with chain link fencing. It was like a box over the death match over the top of the building, but that's where they had their playgrounds and things. So they'd set up most of their, because it was downtown, so they'd set up most of their fair stuff up on the roof where the playgrounds and things were. And we were all on the elevator going upstairs, and for some reason I shifted or something, and I put my hand on the door of the elevator, and like in that moment it opened and my hand got sucked into the door of the elevator, and it hurt. I freaked out, and of course my dad and his friend there, you know, one of them's hitting the button to close the door, the other one's grabbing my hand out of the door. But yeah, no, I remember that one so vividly because of that experience. But you know, that was like one of my favorite costumes. You just wore like a pink leotard under it or something, and away you went. But yeah, I mean, I thought I looked epic with my makeup and the glittery eyeshadow, and I think my mom had done like glittery face paint all over my face. I was just a ball of glitter at that point. And of course it was the 80s, so it was blue eyeshadow. So yeah, that was one of my favorites. The other one, my mom actually made me a cat costume several years later. That was like a black cat with like leopard print ears and a tail and paws. Let's see, number 6. What is your favorite? Oh no, that's. Oh, what's your favorite Halloween costume that you've worn? Yeah, probably that butterfly fairy one. Was awesome. You know, I was rocking. You know, when I was in high school, I thought it was pretty awesome. I borrowed I went as like a 1930s, 40s gangster. I had a fedora, and I borrowed one of my mom's like suit jackets, and I had a pair of slacks, and we took a brown piece of construction paper and rolled it up to make a cigar. And I did like I don't know, my makeup again was done really well. I had like a brown eyeshadow and sort of brown lipstick, really, so I looked very stark. But yeah, I thought I was rocking it with that one. I looked really good. I don't know, the suit looked sharp. It was, you know, I borrowed it from my mom. Okay, what is your favorite Halloween candy? I love candy corn. I don't care what you say. It is a fall candy. I only get it one time a year, but I do. I love candy corn. And it was convenient because my best friend, who went with me most years, oh, you knocked it on the ground. Who went with me most years, she loved Twizzlers, the red ones. I also like black licorice. I'm weird. I love black licorice, but she would give me all of her candy corn, and I would give her all of my Twizzlers. So it worked out well for everybody. But yeah, no, candy corn all the way. And the little pumpkin ones, like you buy that fall mix that they do, and it's like little pumpkins and the weird colored candy corn. Yeah, I love me some candy corn. What is your favorite Halloween memory or tradition? my birthday is actually November 4th. And so growing up, when I hit like middle school and high school, we would always do my birthday. Oh, she fell. We would do my birthday on Halloween. Oh, I'd invite a few friends over. We'd get all dressed up in our costumes. My mom would buy pizza and have it delivered. And then we'd all go out trick-or-treating after we had, you know, all this pizza, and then we'd walk it off, and then we'd gorge ourselves on candy when we got home. And if it was the weekend, oh my God, that was awesome, because you do a sleepover. You know, and on weekends, people tend to trick-or-treat later. And the neighborhood I grew up in was sort of that upper middle class type neighborhood. So you had some houses, I don't know how we got in there, I don't know. But, because that ain't the kind of people we are. You had some houses that gave away like the full-size candy bars, which was awesome. I don't know what our daughter's going to do this year because she's not allowed to have candy anymore. I think we may do like a buyback type thing, where we give her money or something for the candy. Let's see. Oh, now I remember. Anyway, my birthday. My birthday used to be, we would celebrate, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. And one year, one of my favorite memories, it's kind of a sad one too. One year, for some reason, I invited like 5 or 6 people over, and all but one canceled. So only one person showed up. And it, you know, it wasn't like this was a surprise. It was something we did every year. And I don't know if it was, maybe it was like the first year of high school, or it was either the first or second year. And, you know, kids were older, wanted to do things with other friends. Maybe there was a Halloween party or something. But it was kind of sad. I ended up with you know, one friend there, and don't get me wrong, she was one of my best friends, so, you know, that was awesome to have her there, but it kind of stung a little bit that everybody else bailed out on me. But my dad, knowing how kind of upset I was, I mean, I didn't really show it because, you know, I had the other friend there, and what is she, chop liver, you know? So you don't really want to be all too disappointed, but, he went and raided my mom's closet and pulled out this white chiffon dress that she had. It was like a white slim fitting dress with like a chiffon sort of shawl that went over it. It was plain but fancy. And I think he got like a set of her pearls, put on one of her bras, and we stuffed it with tissues, did makeup on him, whole 9 yards. Now, mind you, my dad had a full beard. Full beard. And he would have worn her high heels, except his feet didn't fit in her shoes. So he wore some, I think, tennis shoes, which was smarter anyway. You're walking. So, no, but we went out. He went out completely dolled up for Halloween for me because my friends had bailed. And so my one friend that showed up, and me and my dad, we all went out trick-or-treating, and it was the bomb. We had like the greatest Halloween ever, you know. And my best friend actually called afterwards, and she was like, oh my God, she just totally forgot. She was like, oh my God, that was your birthday party, wasn't it? I went, yeah. She's like, I'm so sorry. We are still friends to this day. I didn't completely disown her. But, yeah, no, and he would go around to people's houses. Everybody knew my dad in the neighborhood, and so he would get beer from people. He had, like, a bag, and people would slip, like, a can of beer in his bag. So it was pretty funny, and that was, like, one of the best memories I have of Halloween. And then when my kids, you know, when my eldest was starting to trick-or-treat, of course we went all out for her Halloween. So yeah, it's a traditional holiday for us. We like doing the fun stuff. Okay, favorite memory. Do I believe in ghosts? Yes, I do. I think that there's a lot of things out in the world that we don't know. We don't understand. We don't know about. I think when people die, they die unexpectedly or violently. I think their soul gets stuck. I think normally when people die, their soul goes to wherever souls go when they die. It's not connected to this plane of existence anymore, and they go elsewhere. I think there are some people who get stuck, either through fear, or they don't realize they're dead, or something. I believe there's a difference between like an intelligent haunting and like a what's the word? Like an imprint haunting, where something violent happened and it's like a recording replaying over and over again. That's something else entirely. But no, I do believe that sometimes people's spirits get stuck in this realm of existence without a body, and they can't or won't move on from here. So yes, I believe in ghosts. Next question is, what is the scariest thing that has ever happened to you? Other than my hand getting stuck in that freaking door, I've had a lot of scary things, actually. Let's see, what's one that I can... I had one I was going to say, and I can't remember what it is. I should have written it down. I don't know. This one scared us. But I don't think that's the type of scare that we're looking for. She ended up in the NICU for a week after she was born. Uh-huh. Scared us. No, crap. I can't think of what it was now. I actually had a really good story, and I can't... Crap. It was something I hadn't thought about in, like, years. Oh, well. Anyway, I'll move on to the next one. If I can remember it, I'll tell it. If you could be any Halloween creature or character, what would it be? I don't know. I like the idea of vampires, not for like the glittery, romantic, you know, aspect of them, but I like the idea of living forever. You know, just continuing to exist, see the world change as it goes. I like were things, though. I mean, werewolves are classic, but my husband and daughter play D&D, and one of the creatures they have are werebears. We said if I were gonna be a were anything, I'd be a werebear. You know, they're like one of the strongest were animals out there. But yeah, no. Halloween critter. I like vampires, but I don't like I said, I don't like the glittery, shiny vampires, you know, I mean, I do, but I don't, you know, that's not, I like more like the creepy, ones, like the Nosferatu type ones, or the Strigoi from Romania. I like those sort of like undead type, truly undead type vampires. Those I'm okay with. Zombies, not so much. I don't know. I guess I could go with one of those. Bride of Frankenstein, maybe. I don't know. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the vampire. It's so cliche, but we'll go with that. Have you ever played with a Ouija board? If so, what happened? Would you do it again? No, I have not. Well, my friend had one. Nothing happened, but I would not, simply because, like I said before, I do think that there are things that are beyond our understanding in this world, and I think a Ouija board can open things up to a lot of bad things. Like I've told my daughter, don't dabble. Don't dabble in things you don't understand. Stay away from it. If you had to pick a real-life scary movie to live through, which would it be? I don't know, can I pick the scary movies? Like the funny ones? I don't want to live through a zombie movie. They creep me out. Although I do love, like, post-apocalyptic movies. I don't know, maybe Scary Movie, because it lays out the rules for you, like, off the bat. You know? If you just follow the rules, you'll be fine. Maybe that. I'll go with that. How old were you when you saw your first Scary Movie, and what was it? Okay, I had an older brother. And anyone who has an older sibling knows that they expose you to things way more earlier than you probably ought to. He was 4 years older than me. And so, like, he always would watch scary stuff on the TV. So I mean, I saw things like Freddy and Jason and stuff like that. Of course, terrified me. We had a rabbit growing up who was in a hutch out in the backyard, and if I forgot to feed him that day, I was like 8. Okay, don't yell at me. I'd have to go out in the dark to feed the rabbit, and it just always terrified me to go out there in the dark. You know, even though there was like this big floodlight that lit up everything, we had orange trees, so it was really kind of creepy in our backyard because we had 4 orange trees. It was like orange tree, a couple grapefruit trees, but they were all overgrown and gnarled together, and you'd turn the floodlight on, and yes, it illuminated everything, but it cast shadows too, and it was just the creepiest thing ever. So yeah, so I always thought like a Jason type murderer was hanging out in our backyard, you know, in our lovely upper middle class neighborhood. So yeah, that was always fun. First one I ever really, I don't know, I avoided scary movies. The Ring was one that I actually like saw, and the only reason I went to go see it was it was rated PG-13. And usually PG-13 movies aren't too scary. The Ring was terrifying. I hated that movie. I really like oh crap, what was it? The Haunted? Is that one where they all, Liam Neeson and was the doctor, like the psychologist, and they took all these like insomniac people to this castle, and told them that they were doing a sleep study. You know, let's take the people who can't sleep and put them in a big creepy house. That's good. But it turned out to be like a study on fear, but it turns out that the house was actually haunted. I liked that one. Baby's trying to reach for the camera. I liked that one. This be my favorite or my earliest. Yeah, Tremors was actually one of the earliest ones I saw, with big worms underground that eat people. Yeah, that terrified me as a child. Just the idea of like what. So like even today, sinkholes freak me out. Just the idea that you can be walking along and be sucked down into the ground. It just, oh, can't do it. Can't do it. Let's see. How old were you when you saw your first scary movie? What was it? I don't know. How old was I? Maybe 8 or something like that. What is the scariest ghost story or urban legend you ever heard as a child? You know, one of the scariest, back up to number 10, one of the scariest things that ever happened to me, I had moved out on my own, and I awoke from a sound sleep one morning. I worked a weekend, so it was like a weekday morning. It was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday. And as the fog of sleep lifted, my place was really creaky. And I realized that a noise had woken me up. And it was the same sound as... Oh my goodness, cough, cough. I think she just choked on her own drool. I realized that it was the same sound that my floor makes when I walk into my hallway. And I just remember laying there for a while thinking, oh my God, there's someone in my apartment. And I was completely quiet, like under my covers, thinking, you know, I wonder if I can slither off the other side of my bed. Turns out it was nothing. It was probably just the place settling, and that's what it sounded like. But I swear, up and down. It sounded like someone had stepped on that spot. Oh no! Oh no, my step wasn't. It sounded like someone had stepped on that spot in my apartment that makes the noise. Is your foot caught? What are we doing? There you go. Babby's getting tired. So what was the scariest ghost story or urban legend you had ever heard as a child? You know, the babysitter one, where the babysitter's gets that phone call, and it comes coming from upstairs. That freaked me out as a kid. I'm trying to think. There was one, but I don't remember what it was now. There was one that used to scare me a little bit. What is the most unique or creative Halloween costume you have ever seen? My favorite, this one I know right away, and I'll try and find a picture of it or link to the guy's video. It was a dad who did this. Of course, dads. He had one of those baby carriers, you know, the ones that's on the front and the baby face is out. He built a rig around it to look like the forklifts from the Aliens movies. So that big yellow forklift, and he like not backlit it, but like lit it from the front so it shone onto the baby's face. So when he dressed in black, so as he's walking down the street in the dark, this thing is lit up and it looks like the baby is driving the forklift from the Aliens movie. It's awesome. If I can find a picture of it, I'll pop it on the screen, but it was really funny. So that was it. That was the last question. Yeah, so those are my Halloween questions. Go check out My Keto Life. Jessica over there, that's her channel. Pretty good channel. I like throwing them on my TV and watching them that way. I sit on my couch and eat bonbons all day long. No, I play them in the background all day long while I'm cleaning and doing stuff. Speaking of which, I desperately need to clean. Don't look at the back of the house. But yeah, so that's it, and we'll talk to you later. All right, bye.